Morning, folks. Let's get Facebook on board. Fresh page.
What do you...
Thomas MacArthur. That's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Edit privacy. Make public. Facebook's a pain in the arse. Right, now we're public, folks. Good morning, all. Welcome aboard. Good morning, Reagan Elite. How are you today? Anyway, folks, welcome. It's Indy Truck Davy on the 20th of the 11th, Wednesday, the 20th of the 11th, 2024. I'm out my truck. I'm in my office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it's -1 degrees, hard frost, bloody cold, normal for this time of year. How it should be. Okie dokie. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Patricia. Hey, that's the first day Facebook is in. Morning, Charlotte. How are you today? Anyway, let's get this underway, shall we? It's the newspaper headline review. As I say, on the 20th of 11th, 2024, and boy, there's some nonsense and rags a day. So first up today, we've got the Herald. And the Herald goes on. Majority of Scots want national insurance devolved as farmers revolt. And the secondary headline is Chancellor Reeves under increasing fire, as tax and NHI changes lead to mass protest. I wonder how long this government's going to last. 4 months in, and the farmers are down tools. Who's next? That's a bloody good question, isn't it? Anyway, the farmers hit London en masse yesterday to protest the changes to inheritance tax. Now, of course, Victoria Derbyshire pinned Jeremy Clarkson to the wall on this one when she highlighted that in 2021 he wrote an article telling people he was buying a farm to avoid paying inheritance tax. Wow. Anyway, the Chancellor and Starmer were trying desperately yesterday to convince farmers that it will only affect those with farms worth more than £3 million. Yeah, sounds like a lot of small farmers won't pay, won't it? Doesn't it? Nah, price of agricultural land's through the bloody roof. And if you throw in their farm equipment, their residents, their outbuildings, the average farm's worth £3 million. They're all going to get smacked for it. This was designed, supposedly, to get those stinking rich people who buy up agricultural land to avoid inheritance tax. But it would appear that actually it's going to whack almost every farmer. Nice one, eh? Right, the Metro has. Clarkson joins tax protest at Westminster. Main headline, Farmageddon. Farmageddon. There you go. But this is serious. Food security is already dodgy here in the UK. Going to the supermarket is already a game of supermarket sweep or Russian roulette. There's no guarantee what's in the packet, is what it says on the packet, because there's no checks being done. None. There's not even any guarantee that what you get in the supermarket shelves is fit for human consumption. No checks being done anywhere. Just wave a shite in. Don't worry if the people become ill. Anyway, the Telegraph has PM claims BBC backed him over farm raid. It would appear Starmer's just put the British Broadcasting Corporation in a bloody bad position. Because as a public service broadcaster, Its job's to inform and hold truth to power. It's not to back the state narrative. That's not the point of the press. What we need is a free and honest press. What we have is a bunch of billionaires manipulating public opinion. So nobody's holding truth to power. They're all just pushing a narrative. They're all pushing a narrative. That's how we got to fucking Brexit. It's also why the people of Scotland didn't vote to leave this stupid union. Because we had the state broadcaster and everybody else pushing the state's fucking narrative. Right. Also, Putin, also in the Telegraph, Putin has made it clear now. UK, US weapons, doesn't matter what third party weapons that the Ukraine gets, even if the third party doesn't have nuclear weapons, it's going to be considered, because it's part of a bloc with the nuclear alliance, it's going to be considered a nuclear attack, even though it's just conventional weapons. This is fucking serious stuff. Will Putin fire nukes into Ukraine? Aye, probably the bit that he doesn't fucking want. Aye, probably. Right, the Sun has boy 9 drugged and dumped in woods. And it's got wicked coke fiend, neglect, boy 9 drugged and dumped in the woods. I thought, drugged and dumped in the woods? What's that all about? So next up was the Record, and that runs the same story. Child abuse monster it has. Evil Ashley McGovern abandons 9-year-old lad barefoot in the woods. She then attempted to cover up her crime by telling police the lad was missing. But when the lad was found, apparently he had cocaine and alcohol in his system and had suffered brain injuries. What gets into some people's heads? What was the motive? That's what I ask. What was the motive for this woman to drug a 9-year-old boy, get him boozed up, and abandon him barefoot in the woods? The mind boggles. Anyway, the Scotsman's got an entertaining headline this morning, and that is that Donald Trump's son Eric Trump, says SNP government makes it hard to do business. And I thought, this is this shite in the Scotsman. Anyway, you couldn't make this shit up. The Office for National Statistics, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs and Revenue, all tell us that Scotland is the industrial powerhouse of the UK. It's the second biggest part of the UK's economy, out with the southeast of England and London. These are the UK's aid figures. Scotland had the biggest inward investment last year than any other part of the UK. And that's because the Scottish Government have got 72 trade enclaves throughout the world, and they're out encouraging people. And when people have a look at what Scotland has to offer, we have the highest educated population in Scotland, like one of the best environments in Scotland in Europe to live in. It's beautiful fucking here. It's stunning. I look at my window and it's blindingly beautiful. The water's clean and the food's good. Of course people want to invest here and come here. It's a great place for people to set up business. Healthy, happy, educated. All the things you need for a dynamic economy. All the things that they fucking idiots in England have forgot. But this shite in the Scotsman. You think the Scotsman would have son in the heat and said, "Oh, bugger off, son." Because they printed these figures earlier this year. In April, actually. Wasn't the front page stuff, of course. No. You can't have the people of Scotland knowing that the economy's booming on the front pages. They might want independence. Because let's face it, England's in terminal fucking decline and they're dragging us down with them. I mean, we were an exporting powerhouse and they put fucking trade barriers up to our exporting powerhouse. Fucking idiots. But anyway, apparently, Eric Trump says the only reason why the Trump empire, which is fucking bankrupt by the way, is here in Scotland, is because of his family's love for Scotland. Families they love for fucking Scotland. Trump came here with a sole view of exploiting the fact that Scotland's the home of golf, which is his fucking hobby. He came here with a view of building a world-class golf course, a links, a windy golf course on the coast. That was it. Buying Turnberry, well, it was up for sale at the time. And at that time, he could still run a line of credit. And he needs it. Because apparently neither of these golf courses are making any fucking money. Right. So that's the nonsense in the Scotsman. The Daily Mail has Putin clears way for nuclear strike. The lunatics are running the asylum. And the Times has Putin raises nuclear stakes and farmers bring Whitehall to a standstill in inheritance tax protest. They say, scary times, new Cold War or actual active war coming. And our chances of surviving it when we know that after the American review earlier in the year that we couldn't put a battle group on the ground, a single battle group, 50,000 men. We've only got 76,000 fucking soldiers. We couldn't put a single battle group on the ground. Our weapons are shite. Our equipment is aged, ancient, unreliable, and no worth putting on to the field in a modern conflict era. There may well be big trouble ahead. And we'll talk about Westminster wanting to give away what little missiles we have to the Ukraine. And we don't have an air defence system here. We've actually got the Germans coming to take care of defending the Northwest Passage because we don't have the capability. This is nuts. Anyway, I'm going to put a national up because this one made me fucking laugh. Yesterday was hilarious in the press. Absolutely hilarious in the press yesterday. So it was. Absolutely hilarious. Here we go, you see this. Right, Scots farmers vow to make Labour listen. Scotland's never been able to make any Westminster government listen in 300 odd fucking years. What makes Scots farmers think they can do what fucking Labour's ongoing, or for the most part of my lifetime, majority of MPs we've ever had in Westminster have been Labour. The last couple of times the SNP had the majority is a fluke, if we look at it historically. But they've never achieved fuck all. Nothing. They're not even a pressure group for the Scottish people. And this one cracked me up even more. The main headline, Chancellor Sarwar makes U-turn. Scottish Labour now backs winter fuel payments, but cynical timing ahead of by-election. Blasted. Doesn't matter what Sarwar says. Oh, we'll bring it back as a devolved benefit. The man's a fucking liar. And there's nobody listening to him. Nobody's listening to Sarwar, especially after the promises that were made. especially if the promises were made at the last election. But the way this was portrayed in the press yesterday was absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. We were being told that Scottish Labour now diverges on English Labour or UK Labour on four things: saving Grangemouth, scrapping the two-child tax, two-child cap, settling for WASPy women, and now apparently they differ on the winter fuel payment and all. It's all bollocks. Lies. The four policy areas that they differ on. They don't differ on it at all. Sarwar's got no impact whatsoever. His MPs don't even speak to him, or communicate with him, or take any direction from him, because they take the whip in London. So, to have the press up here tell us that Scottish Labour's a different entity because they have different opinions on, these weren't the different opinions on. These were lies that were sold to the Scottish people to vote Labour in the last election. And this one is a lie to get the people of Scotland to vote Labour in this fucking election coming up in 2026. Because Labour's bombed in the polls. Absolutely bombed. That's one thing the press up here did admit. That since that election, where Labour got 38 Scottish MPs, or 36 Scottish MPs, they have bombed. Because it has become clear to the Scottish public that they were fucking lied to. It's also become clear to the Scottish public what was fucking clear to the rest of us. And that was the reason we were voting SNP. That's because we wanted a pressure group in Westminster. We don't have a pressure group in Westminster. If they were against the scrapping of the winter fuel payment, why did the Scottish MPs take the whip and vote it through? Except for two, who were given permission to abstain because they made clear that there would be by-elections in their areas because they would be recalled for misleading the public. And that was Airdrie Shorts and Falkirk, where they made it clear to the whip, you do this and there's going to be a recall petition in our areas. Millie, the Scots that will believe him will be the pensioners, who become even more desperate. That's who'll believe them. And they'll go out and vote, and they'll still fucking freeze to death. Because we know that pensioners and old people like me get out and vote. But, I mean, you were told vote Labour at the last election and Starmer would whip his MPs into pressurising Starmer and Reeves. His MPs went like that to him the minute they were elected. Get to fuck you wee muppet, you mean nothing to us. Devolution means nothing to us. The Scottish Parliament means nothing to us. Scottish democracy means fuck all to us. So all the broken promises made to the Scottish people at the last election apparently are now policy differences. There's so much shite in all your life. But hey, people believe shite. They will absolutely believe shite. They will ignore their eyes and what they're witnessing and still believe shite. I blame the media. They've been feeding the people shite for that long, they couldn't tell true from untrue. They can't tell truth from a lie. Right, the eye reports a extra 100,000 pensioners in poverty after winter fuel cut. As if Starmer gives a fuck. Starmer has made the conscious decision. Think about this, folks. Think about the sort of monster we are talking about here. This is a man who knows that his policies will drive 250,000 more children into poverty this year, while maintaining the two-child benefit cap. Do you think Starmer gives a fuck about 100,000 pensioners? No. This is a guy that can get out and go to bed at night justifying 15,000 children being murdered by an ally This is a guy who can justify genocide and sleep tight in his bed at night. This is supposed to be a father. This man's a fucking monster. He does not belong in power, he belongs in jail. And his children should be taken off him for their own safety. Because this guy's no fit to hold any public position. He shouldn't have a voice. This man's a monster. This is a man that can justify the murder of 43,000 women and children and civilians. This is a guy that can justify shoving 250,000 children here in the UK into poverty in 2024. So this guy can easily justify freezing 100,000 fucking pensioners and shoving 100,000 of them into poverty. He doesn't give a fuck. That's not the party of the people. That's the party of power, privilege and patronage. That is the state. We don't have two cheeks of one arse, two cheeks of the same arse now. We have one arse. And it's all state and Tory. I don't have to drive you around the fucking twist. 100,000 pensioners shoved into poverty. That's not counting the disabled, by the way. Or the 250,000 children that he's shoving into poverty. The man is a monster. A man who can continue to give arms to a regime which is committing genocide and can justify the murder of 43,000 women, children and innocent non-combatants. He doesn't give a fuck about forcing people into poverty. Right, what's the star goat for us today? We need a wee bit of cheering up. One arse, multiple colours. Well said, Stephen. Well said, Stephen, thank you. Right, what's the star goat for us today? Shall we have a wee look? Need cheering up. I wonder if a star can achieve it. Let's see. The star has won your Christmas shop with Iceland. Weather appropriate, I suppose. Creepy Jez is very, 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 very cross. Have boffins drowned ET? Nice one. But the main headline, -11 Celsius, big freeze, attack of the ice cube zombies. Brass monkey weather turns 7 million of us into nation of tired, emotionally frazzled insomniacs. That'll be the 7 millionaires that can't afford to put the fucking heating on. Hey, that'll be the pensioners that can't afford to put the heating on. Hey, that'll be the young families and children being fed out of food banks. Hey, here on fucking Brexitania and their dystopian hell. Well, that didn't cheer me up much this morning, did it cheer you a lot up? Watch out for the zombies this Christmas, will we, Reagan? See, but the 7 million people the Star will be talking about will be the 7 million people who are living on a knife edge, who are in poverty and only just surviving. That'll be the 7 million that can't afford to heat their houses. That'll be the 7 million that eat out of food banks. That'll be the 7 million that can't afford to feed their children. That'll be the 7 million that are skipping meals to feed their children. Wow, what a fucking nightmare this is. And it's not getting better anytime soon. So the answer is independence, independence, independence. So get your fucking eyes on the prize. And we'll see you all at 10:30 tomorrow morning to do it all again. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Be kind. Now, no after chat today again, folks, because I've still got things that I really need to get done. And I don't want to have to be rushing about to do it. I've only got 2 days off this week, and that's today, yesterday and today, and that means I've got to get all my admin for this month done for like a couple of days, because I haven't bought my arse earlier in the month. So, sorry about that. Look after yourselves. I'll see you on the morning, and then again in the afternoon tomorrow. Lot to talk about. World's on fire. But hey, we've been here before. Let's hope the fire extinguisher's still working like it was the last time.